Piedmont Triad Podcast.
Before I get too old, I'm gonna head down to Muscle Shoals. Baby, you can meet me at the station.
Welcome to another episode of the Piedmont Triad Podcast, the only podcast that talks about the strange and more unusual people and places of the Piedmont Triad area. I'm your host, David Locklear, and today we are talking to Louie Money, the lead singer for the band the Trailer Park Orchestra. Now, this interview was recorded a few months ago at one of my favorite places to haunt, Joy Monger's Barrel Hall in Winston. So when it will become pretty apparent as the interview progresses that our beer buzz kind of creeps in, and this actually made for what was one of the most fun interviews that I've ever had talking to Louie. And not just because we talk about how the Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson owes him $25 for a bootleg porno tape that Louie sold back to him in the 1990s. No, we talk about some other things too. We also talk about why you shouldn't pass out at a party and get teabagged by one of your friend's dog. We also talk about how he used to sell weed to the Clemens murderer Pazuzu in Clemens, North Carolina. But we mostly talk about Lieutenant Robinson and the porno money that he owes Louie and how absolutely fascinating it is when you contrast it to his sort of moral superiority when it comes to other things. So enjoy.
Governor, I'm so proud of you. You're the first black man to hold that title. You might not remember that I sure as heck do. Back in the days before the online news. Hey, Mr. Robinson, mail me a check. Hey, Lieutenant Governor, please don't conveniently forget. I made you a bootleg, I did all the time. Most of the time you paid me, I guess it slipped your mind. I hate to remind you, could you please not forget? You know where I live. Can you mail me a check? Hey, Mr. Robinson, mail me a check. Hey, Lieutenant Governor, please don't conveniently forget. Don't forget, Mark. You owe me this money and you had for years. Now you're running for governor. Whoa, shit. Remember the bootlegs I get asked all the time. I ain't said nothing, but now it's time. Hey, Mr. Robinson, mail me a check. Hey, Lieutenant Governor, please don't conveniently forget. Don't forget.
Welcome to another episode of the Piedmont Triad Podcast, the only podcast that focuses on the more unusual people and places of the North Carolina Piedmont Triad area. I'm your host, David Locklear, and today we're talking with Louie Money of the Trailer Park Orchestra Band. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I wasn't expecting to be told I was unusual right off the bat, but it fits, so it's cool. No, thanks for having me.
Yeah. No, I don't want to interview florists. I want to interview
You know what? Florists can be fun. I will leave it at that.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
now
okay.
they can stab you, but they can be fun.
Is it kind of like one of those nurses are kind of hot and ready to party type of deals? You would never expect it type thing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, you know what? And I know we're getting off on a tangent already, but florists are creative people.
Right.
You don't think about it, but they're creative people, and so they have a lot of the loose screws that musicians do.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, fair enough. Because it does require some sort of artistic creativity.
Oh yeah, that's why having sex with them is so fun. Like musicians too.
I got married so early. I never really got the opportunity to discover, I guess you would say, vocations when it comes to dating.
Gotcha. I got married early too. I just wasn't good at it. So, so congratulations.
Thank you. I've made it pretty far. I had a couple of examples in my life about don't do that. When you get married. So,
yeah.
So how many times have you been married?
Twice, but I only count one of them because one of them was pretty much a drunken year haze, and it was to a florist.
Right.
Yeah.
On.
That's but I really don't, and I don't really want to. Well, I'm not I'm not going to mention her name, but it was my fault. I just rushed into something that I was not ready. And you would think that, you're 40 something. You're 40. And you turn it, and you've done it before, but I was just in a low spot and just rushed into something that but she was fun. I didn't mean to take it on a dark turn, but
right?
Yeah.
Well, I've always heard that the ones who are a little bit off are usually the more fun one. But my wife has always been stable, and that doesn't mean she's not fun. She's a lot of fun. I don't want to get my ass handed to me. But,
like Louis got me in trouble.
Yeah.
My whole life I've heard that, actually. Louis got me in trouble.
This fucking podcast is going to get me in trouble, too, man. I got to watch my mouth.
That Trailer Park Orchestra fuckers. God. I can't say that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Thought,
It's free reign. Yeah, have fun. No, I wouldn't do this if I couldn't kind of just speak the way I normally speak. That would censoring myself. That'd be boring as all
Gotcha.
hell.
I thought so, but I just couldn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right. Well, okay. One of the things we want to talk about is the new single by the Trailer Park Orchestra, which is "The Lieutenant Governor Owes Me Money."
Yes.
I'll let you have the floor. Tell me about it.
It's a true story. I mean, the Mark Robinson, and we are not a political band.
Right.
We try to keep politics completely out of it. We are just a party. We're just a party band, right. And it's also because some of us that are in the band disagree with each other about politics. So we're like, okay, let's just stay out of politics.
Right.
But when we got an album coming out called True Stories, and all the songs are stuff that happened, and then all of a sudden, a guy that owes you money from 20 years ago for bootleg porn wins the lieutenant governor. You have to write. You have to add it to the album called True Stories because it's True Stories, and it's funny. Like every other song, everything we wrote or write is pretty much a true story. There might be some exaggeration in it, but it's a true story. With the lieutenant governor owing me money, that's not an exaggeration whatsoever.
Okay, so explain. Bootleg porn.
Bootleg porn.
When I was growing up, that was most porn. Whenever I got my hands on it. Elaborate a little bit more about how that goes.
Okay, all right. Well, I used to work third shift at a place called Gents Video and News.
Where was that?
It was in Greensboro. Now it's Gate City Boulevard, but at the time it was High Point Road. It was the 24-hour store with the blinking lights right beside Toys R Us.
I remember that place.
Okay,
yeah.
So does your lieutenant governor. And he would literally come in every night about anywhere from like 11 o'clock to midnight and then stay to about 3, 4, 5 a.m. And at the time, he was working like at a pizza joint. And he would just bring pizza in, and he would preview movie. This is way before the internet was accessible to everybody. It started in the 90s. I met him in like 92.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I met him in like 92. And, dude, like, you literally could have handed me $1 million in $1 bills and said, okay, I didn't know a million people in 1992. Let me go back. You could say, here's $1,000 in $1 bill. Bet $1 for each person that you own, that you know, that might one day be the lieutenant governor. And he would not have been in that thousand people. Now I see it. You know, but back then I definitely wouldn't have saw it.
Right.
But that beer's delicious. Anyway, he would come in and do what they call preview movies. He'd drop down $8, pick a movie out of the shelf, and go watch it in a preview room.
Yeah.
You know, just like a porno booth.
Yeah.
You know, we've all seen those little booths. Well, I don't know. You've been married for a long time, so maybe not you, but
I've seen them in films.
I've seen them in films, yeah. And so he would literally come in there and do all that. Well, my sneaky ass had 2 VCRs. And I would literally take the movies home because I could rent them for free, dub them, and once I got to know certain people, I just kind of was like, dude, why don't I just sell? And I put like 3 on a tape. Like, why don't I just sell you this for like $20?
Oh, that's a good hustle, man.
Dude, yeah. I had the Pam and Tommy before anybody else did. My bosses, when they finally made it legal, my bosses were like, why is it selling everywhere but your store? And I'm still like, I didn't feel like saying because I had that shit like a year ago. Like, and everybody here's already seen it.
Yeah. Everybody's worn their copy out.
But he would just come in, and don't get me wrong, I don't want to make it sound like I'm talking junk about Mark. Me, myself, personally, I disagree with his politics. Mm-hmm. Okay? However, I don't hate I like the guy.
Yeah.
You know? And, you know, so I was like, holy shit. So, anyway, he started getting bootleg porn from me, and this lasted for years. So about 2004, when VHS was starting to die and DVD, I guess he just felt he didn't need to pay me anymore, and he didn't pay me. And I kept at Mark, where's my money? Mark, where's my money? Never paid me. I didn't see this guy until Election Day 2 years ago. And I'm at the gym in High Point, and I'm never in High Point. You know, at the gym, I'm never in High Point. Mm-hmm. And I hear, Louis, who the fuck is, you know, and I turn around, and it's fucking Mark, Lieutenant Governor Mark. And I'm like, I kind of play on it in the song, but I'm like, dude, I'm so proud of you. I was like, I disagree with your ass. Yeah. I was like, but I'm very proud of what you've done for yourself. And we ended up talking for, 30 minutes, kind of catching up and all that. And I was like, dude, I don't want you ever to pay me this money. And he laughed. I was like, because I'm telling the whole world that you owe me money. I was like, I know you see it on Twitter. And he's like, yeah. And he kind of had a chuckle. And I was like, everything, I'm saying you owe me money. And he's like, yeah. I was like, not going to write a song about it. And he kind of like just let that one go. Because I hadn't had the song written yet. But I had the idea. When I write songs, I have the idea before I ever write the lyrics. Yeah. And, of course, Bull Bentley, my guitar player, just had the riff, and we just finally wrote it. So we finally got it recorded and all that. And it's out. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's on everything. We're just now in the process of recording the video. But, yeah, it's a true story. That fucker owes me money for bootleg porn. And Brian Clary, one of your former guests, hooked me up with a reporter. I can't remember the publication, but I told him the story, and and he even said it's not a scandal, but it's a funny story. I'm like, well, that's all it is. I'm not trying to ruin the guy. I mean, I disagree with him, but I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, but it's a funny story, and I've got to tell this funny story because the fuckers might be the governor, like, and he owes me money for bootleg porn. I'm like,
90s porn. I mean, we're talking like the full Bush kind of porn.
No, that was more 70s. But
no, you're right.
And he paid me. And if you listen to the lyrics of the song, it says he paid me. He paid me most of the time. It wasn't until that last time in 2004. And I can tell you why it was 2004, because I went to New York to get, there were certain things that were like you couldn't get in North Carolina at the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
like some kind of those weird sort
like
of
fisting,
archaic,
like fisting, like
right.
fisting board, pissing and pooping, stuff like that. Yeah,
I can't believe that they had like legislation saying no, you can't have that shit around.
Couldn't have it in North Carolina, but New York City, it's on the freaking shelves. So I buy one for $25 for an original.
Yeah.
Take it back and start dubbing and selling to my regulars, including Mark. Never paid me. I'm like, you motherfucker.
How much do you think he probably roughly owes you for all this porn?
Oh, he only owes me $25. Yeah, he paid me every other time. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of I mean, from 1992 to 2004. Yeah, he paid me, and a lot of times he wrote me a check. So I'm like, there's got to be.
It'd be even funnier if like one of the checks bounced and he owes you $50.
I know, right? I know. But no, but it is what it is. I mean, he was a funny guy. I mean, we'd be 3-4 o'clock in the back of a porn shop just laughing our ass off because he would just be telling the most fucked up, funny, and some of it's inappropriate. A lot of it is inappropriate now. Yeah. It was inappropriate then, but you laugh at stuff differently at 19 than you do at 52.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Andrew Dice Clay was my man when I was 19 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still a Dice man, but that.
Yeah, some of his older stuff, you're like,
okay. We really can't do that. Like
that joke's not quite as funny as it once was.
Yeah.
Now I kind of understand why people were upset.
Yeah, exactly. And that, but I mean, personality and all that. But yeah, that's why he owes me money, and I had to write a song about it. Like, how do you have an album coming out called True Stories? And this guy's running for governor, and he's the current lieutenant governor, and I not write the story that you owe me money for bootleg porn. So now we're filming the video, and the song, it doesn't mention anything about porn. However, we shot most of the video inside of a porn shop.
Oh, did you?
Yes. And I will say it's a local porn shop because they don't want me to mention the name of said Jack Shack because they don't want to mention the name because they're scared. Yeah. And there's a lot of the guy that's directing the video. I've known the guy 30 years. I love the dude. He's done stuff with me before. Doesn't want his name in it. He's scared. He's scared. The guy that's portraying Mark in the video bought himself a mask to wear during the video because he's like, man, I can't have this. I'm like, it's not like we're sitting here like saying it was anything like really. So what? The guy watched porno 20 years ago.
Yeah.
It's funny, but it's like that guy said. It's funny, but it's not a scandal.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that there's a lot of people who would view that as being sort of a scandalous thing to look at pornography. It's like, are we really at that place anymore? I mean, I know there's a handful, but still.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there might be, maybe 10%. And I'm sure they're all old and might not be here to live when it's time to vote for governor,
Yeah,
But
exactly.
Good God, most of his supporters, and again, I'm not trying to talk politics, but most of his supporters are going to be Trump supporters. Mm-hmm. Not my cup of tea, but again, and that's my opinion, not the opinion of the band. Trump banged a porn star, and I can't blame him. She's hot, and they're not mad at him. So they're not going to be mad at this guy, like, watching a movie back in the day or owing somebody $25 for a bootleg porn. It's funny, and we're just trying to be funny. That's all.
Well, and that's good to clarify because I did have questions about the song, and you pretty much answered every one of them because I was trying to figure out, I was like, what is the significance of the videotape? What does he owe you for? And I hear bootleg, and so I was like, did he steal some of your music? And,
no.
That was, so all of this is completely a surprise to me,
Awesome. Yeah, dude. It is what it is. It's a funny story. The video, God, that was great because, like, I had to put out on my Facebook page, like, we couldn't find enough VHS tapes because what we did, we took. It's funny. My friend and former boss who owns the porn shop where we shot the booth footage at. he's made it too modern in there, and we were trying to make it look like a 90s, a 90s Jack Shack.
Trying to downgrade it.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, this doesn't look scummy anymore. We can't shoot in here.
This is respectable,
Yeah,
damn it.
like I feel clean walking through the door. Before I needed to shower every time I left. But, God, I had a brain fart. Forgot where I was at.
The videotapes.
Oh, the video. Thank you. So I put out there, we need a bunch of old school videotapes. So we literally went to another store, and not a porn shop, just a regular shop, but cleared the wall because their shelving looked exactly like the old school porn shelving did.
Yeah.
And this girl, well, a lot of people donated old videotapes, and most people said just throw them away. But this one girl, I wish I would have hooked her up first. I guess her dad died and left her like 800 old school porn VHSs.
Oh, man.
So
that's a hell of a collection.
So once we finished, I work at the mall. I'm not really going to mention where I work right now, but I work at the mall. So if you see me, but I'm at the mall, and I've got 800 VHS porn tape. What do you do with 800 VHS porn tapes in 2024? So I'm literally taking like a handful to like each trash can, like hoping nobody sees me. And I'm doing this for like 2-3 weeks, just like, all right, like, got to get rid of these things.
Oh, man. Well, there's a weird market out there that might buy those from you. There's like I've run into this on a couple of podcasts. There are like these weird guys who are really into vintage VHS porn.
Really?
Yeah. It's a strange collectors group, but I have run into it from time to time.
See, I would be worried about the legalities of which ones they're looking for.
Oh, yeah.
And I was also worried about the legality, because, she didn't know what she was giving me. She's like, it's my dad's old porno collection, and I want to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to be like, well, damn. I didn't want, because we were going to, like, take them to shows.
Yeah.
And just be, and be like, hey, free porn with every paid ticket. We're like, and hey, great idea. And then I'm like, well, what if one of those tapes are like,
it's like a snuff film or some shit.
Or Tracy Lords from back in the day or some shit. And it's like, oh, they finally got Louis in jail for some shit. Like, yep. No.
He had 800 of those
He
things.
had 800 Tracy Lords films. Shit.
They're going to put him under the jail. That old saying.
Yeah. So we, after thinking about it, it was like, nah, let they're going to be in the mall trash can.
Right. But I think that was actually a solid idea, that you could go into a show and get a free porn tape with the purchase of a ticket.
Yeah, like, hey, you paid $5 to get in, here's some porn.
Yeah, here's some titties. Everybody enjoys those,
Here's your grandma's tits.
Right.
Like.
So was Mark Robinson, was he sort of the conservative, buttoned up kind of guy when you were talking to him? Or was he a little more laid back? Because he seems he seems real hard-nosed right now, but I can't tell what's political theater and what's his actual personality.
No, that's him.
Okay.
That's the guy that I knew. You got to remember, after like 2004, I didn't see the guy again until I'm at the Planet Fitness, like, on the elliptical, and I look up and I'm like, what's Mark doing on Fox News? And of course that's when he got famous for doing the gun tirade or whatever he did at City Council. It's like, what the hell's he doing? So I switched, and I'm like, and I listened to him, and I'm like, oh shit, no, that's Mark. Okay. God, I hate talk about, but I mean,
Well, yeah,
he's always had the I like Mark as a person. I disagree with him politically because, he's just too anti-gay for me.
Right.
And like I said, those jokes back then, at 19 years old, you find shit like that funny.
Yeah.
Well, I find offensive humor funny anyway.
I do too.
All right, there you go.
I completely get it.
But I don't want that. Well, like I said, I think you can read between the lines of where I'm going, But that what you see with Mark on stage is the Mark I knew.
Okay.
And
that's good. That's honestly good to know, because there's so many. Again, I'm not trying to get political either, but it's like you see so many people who are in politics. 99% of the time, I feel like it's just theater. It's just bullshit. And so it's fascinating to hear that, no, what you see there is how he is.
Yeah, that's the Mark I knew.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the Mark I knew. Like I said, I would hope that, I mean, I was 19 at the time. He was probably, 24. Okay. You would hope that your views on certain things change over the years. But unfortunately, I don't think his has.
Right.
On gay people. And I just think that it's my opinion, not anybody else's opinion. I just feel that I wish he would come around a little. I wish he would. I wish he would grow a little bit on that. And that's just. And this is saying from somebody who actually, on a personal level, likes the dude.
Yeah. Well, and I think that there are a lot of people who cling to old notions and ideas that don't necessarily gel nowadays with what a lot of people think. Because I was the same way. You know, I made the same kind of jokes.
Oh,
like
same here.
Talking about.
Same here.
Just, ugly, nasty stuff, and it was funny at the time. But now I'm like, that was
I wish.
Fucked up,
I mean, we did a lot of stupid shit at 19 that we wish we didn't do, like banging florist. Well, well, no, I don't regret banging the florist. I just regret marrying the florist.
Right. That's just not on the menu any longer. Well, let's shift away from the politics, and let me ask you something that caught my attention just this morning.
Okay.
I was watching the video for, I think it was a Lot 312, I believe it is, for your song Lot 312, and about 3/4 of the way through, there's a wide shot, and there's a group of people kind of hanging out and partying, and one of them is this guy. He has a pink beard, long sort of pink beard. He's got sunglasses. His hair's pulled back into sort of a ponytail. I wish I don't know his name, but he is becoming commonly known for me and my family around town as Pink Beard Guy. He has like
QPC. I think you're talking about QPC.
It's like, is his beard sort of kind of groomed on the side, and then he has sort of a goatee. It goes really long.
Yeah.
QPC.
Yeah.
What? Who is he?
Oh, dude, QPC. I don't know what he's doing too much now, but he used to own a recording studio. He used to have a local music show on 90.9 WQFS.
Really?
Back in the day, him and Moose. He for local, especially local heavier music.
Yeah.
He used to do a lot of good, good stuff for. I mean, I had seen him one time in like the past 3 or 4 years, but I mean, great guy. You know?
Well, the reason I was asking is my family and I, we go to Brick's Pizza in Winston pretty regularly. And it seems like, I swear to God, almost every time we go there,
he's delivering it.
Walking.
Yeah. No. I mean, because at one time he did. I mean, I don't know what it.
No, he's usually just out walking, just like taking a walk. I don't know if he's got a dog or what, but he's always walking up and down. And so,
does he got leather pants on?
Maybe he's always kind of decked out.
Yeah.
Every time I see him, so
gotcha.
he might have leather pants.
I mean, dude, I haven't seen that video in years. If you want the truth, that's one of the songs that I don't like anymore. And it's not because of the band; it's because of what I do. I just feel my delivery on that song was just. I think I could have done better. I think everything else that the band did was great. I just feel I could have done better, and it's just one of those songs that I haven't seen that video since probably the year it came out.
No kidding. See, that's funny because with bands, I've noticed over the years, it seems like it goes one of two ways. Either the band comes out with a stellar, just an immaculate intro album, like it's the greatest shit you've ever heard in your life, and then their second one sucks, and then they never recover. Or their first one's pretty good, and then they just get better and better and better, and it's sort of amazing to go, whoa, I don't even know why I liked the first record in the first place, because these guys are so phenomenal now. So it's funny to hear you as an artist going, I don't really like that one too much.
Well, I guess one reason they come out with good debuts and then, the next one, if they suck, is because usually they'll make their money.
Right.
I've never made any money. So I don't know that trajectory.
Yeah,
you know.
You never got the chance to be fat and happy off
exactly,
of it.
Exactly. I mean, and you know, we've had some lineup changes and stuff over the. I mean, good God, we've been a band for about 12 years. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm happy for everything that we've done. I mean, I've opened up for Ace Frehley. We've done a lot of
no shit.
Oh yeah. I mean, we've done a lot of cool shit as a band, you know, nominated for Carolina Music Awards. One of our music videos has 42,000 hits on it, you know. I'm proud of stuff we've done, but we ain't made no money. Right. Nor are we. Right. Unless Josh Stein over there says, hey, do you guys want to play this?
Would you like a check?
Yes. To make up for the one that I didn't get back in 2004.
Well, when did you guys start? I saw that your album came out in 2015, but I imagine, you know, you got together and were jamming a little bit before that.
Let's see. Wow. So that was 9 years ago. God. Yeah, so I guess about 11 years, because it took us about 11 to... because it took us about 2 years, and our first guitar player, who's actually in the video for Support Your Local Bartender, when he left, we replaced with Joe, who unfortunately is no longer in the band either. But, yeah, it's because we had to re-record that whole first album.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So, and because the first time we recorded it with QPC. Oh. Wow, that's funny how like all this. If we're talking about the same guy, and I'm 99% positive we are.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a unique look. I'd be surprised if we were like, no, that's a completely different guy with a pink beard. You know?
yeah. I mean, he's an awesome guy. Like, I could see if you didn't know him and you didn't want to be like, well, like say something. But if you actually saw him in public, which if he walked in right now, I wouldn't be surprised. Mm-hmm. But if he walked in and you're like, weren't you in that vid? He would, yeah.
Actually, that's probably how I'll break the ice with him the next time I see him. It's like, weren't you in the Trailer Park Orchestra video? Yeah. that seems like a good way.
He'd be like, who sent you?
Is it fucking Robinson?
Yeah.
So you guys got together around that time. So what was what was the sort of connective tissue that made you guys go, we should be a band together? We get along well enough to.
Well, it's funny. Ideas. Like, all right, me and Bull are the only original members left. We got
Bull.
Oh, I'm not supposed to use his government name. Sorry, Bull. But Bull, I mean, I've known him for 30 years. Mm-hmm. And all of us were just local music veterans who have played around the local, especially the more heavier stuff, even though I hate considering myself in heavy bands, but it's funny, like some people in certain scenes I'm in the heavy band, but in the heavy scene I'm not heavy enough. You know, and it's been like that, you know, all my years in this area. But Matt Overstreet, who's now deceased, who was the original guitar player for Trailer Park Orchestra, they were called something else at the time. I was living in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I had moved from Greensboro, just wanted to get away and try something different, and went down to Atlanta and had a lot of fun. And I tried jamming with the guy that I used to be in a band with years ago, and it didn't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. And I got a little homesick, and I'm like, man, I've been here a year, and I'm doing the same shit that I was doing in Greensboro, partying all the time with nothing to show for. And I still party all the time, don't get me wrong, but I at least like to jam.
Yeah,
you know? And Matt Overstreet's like, well, hey, man, I'm jamming with these guys, you know, and we can't get a singer right. So I come back, and we start jamming, and it just clicked. First practice, it clicked. First practice, we actually wrote together. We actually wrote Sober Again together. Mm-hmm. First song we ever wrote as a band. And this is before we had the name Trailer Park Orchestra or anything. And we're just jamming in a storage facility, you know. And, of course, you didn't ask me this question, but I've got so far into the story, I might as well give you the answer. You know, we were looking for names, and we couldn't find names. And Bull had just told a story about somebody or something that happened in a trailer park. Mm. Like, literally just told the story. And I had suggested some names and stuff, and well, everybody had suggested some names, and nobody could agree on it. And I literally said Trailer Park Orchestra, and Matt was like, "That's it, that's the name." Everybody was like, "That's the name." Yeah. So, and I know you didn't ask me that, but the Adderall's wearing off. So, yeah.
Well, one of the I was going to get to that because I
What,
didn't
Adderall?
know.
Like, you got
That
some.
Because that was actually one of the things that I noticed in the song where you were talking about. I think it's day drinking with Daryl, starting the day with. I can't remember. If it's
Vicodin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's another true story. I teabagged Daryl with a dog.
What the fuck?
Yeah. I mean, all these are true stories, man. Like, all right, so Daryl, Greensboro's resident dumbass. Shout out. Daryl's actually a very nice guy and a very good car mechanic. But Daryl comes to my house one time to do some drinking.
Yeah.
And the girl I was dating with had a dog. Well, Daryl passes out. So I take the dog and teabag Daryl with the dog and take pictures. Well, I posted them on Facebook and forgot I had done it because I was drunk. Next thing I know, I open my I look at my phone and I'm like, why do I have so many notifications?
And why is Daryl pissed?
And I'm about to get to that too. And I look at it and I'm like, holy shit! I posted pictures of me teabagging Daryl with a dog. 10 seconds later, my phone's ringing and it's Daryl, and I'm like, oh god, here he comes. I'm like, either he's going to be pissed or he's going to be dying laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, please let him be dying laughing. Please let him be laughing. I answer, hello. I was like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Well, come to find out what had happened was he had I guess he was having some dental issues. Mm-hmm. And he got some Vicodin to help with the pain. Mm. And I guess the Vicodin on top of the beer we're drinking put him to sleep. And I teabagged him with the dog. And wrote a song about it. So Bull calls me up. He's like, I got this great idea for a song, man. He's like, we're going to call it Vicodin and, God, how's the chorus go? Vicodin and whatever it was. And I'm like, no, man, we're going to call it, but in parentheses, we call it Day Drinking with Daryl. I was like, no, we call it Day Drinking with Daryl. And then in parentheses, what was whatever else he said.
Yeah.
And he loved it. And people loved that. So we were playing at Fayetteville. You're always bigger in a town that you're not from. Like Winston, Greensboro, we get love, but we don't get much love. Mm-hmm. Fayetteville, we get love. And, dude, we were there, and we brought Daryl with us. And
nice.
The guy with another band was there with his girlfriend, and he was telling us that he got this big, like, 6-foot-tall stuffed animal for Valentine's Day. Yeah. And his girlfriend's like, what are you going to do for the rest of the day? He's like, well, I'm just going to sit here and Day Drink with Daryl. I guess he named his, Valentine's Day gift Daryl. And I'm like, oh, well, we brought Daryl here. And I'm like, Daryl's a real person? And I'm like, yeah, he's right there. Of course, we're all drinking, hanging out at a place in Fayetteville. And all of a sudden, the guy's like, 30 minutes later, comes in like, I get the song now. I get the whole Daryl thing now. I'm like, you got to know him. You got to love him.
And I love that song because I love the vibe of it because it reminds me of like my early 20s whenever I had a part-time job and then, I only had to work an hour today. What am I going to do? Oh, I should call John. We should get fucked up. You know? I've got an entire afternoon that no one knows that I have no responsibilities. I should go destroy this day.
and at one time, now I'm a little different now because I'm a father now and stuff. But like, so I don't live the life that I sometimes write music about anymore. Yeah. But at the time, I still was. Yeah. Like tonight, I'll have a beer. I might have two. Mm-hmm. But that's going to be it. And that was just one of the times where I was still, and Daryl was if I was like, hey man, I got the day off today.
Let's get loaded.
Let's go, let's have some beer and do dumb shit.
Right. Oh, yeah, I found a picture with probably my best friend in the world. I found a picture recently where we were at the top of Stone Mountain in North Carolina, and I remember looking at that picture. I was like, that's when we took that styrofoam cooler full of Red Dog beer to the top.
Oh, God, I remember those.
Yeah, Red Dog beer, and we just sat there getting drunk on the top of Stone Mountain, and I looked at that picture, and I went, if you ask me to drag a cooler to the top of the Stone Mountain at this point, I tell you, go fuck yourself.
That's some hardcore cardio right there. Like, but that sounds fun. Like if you had a wagon, like at my age now, I'd have a wagon.
Yeah,
that still sounds fun, actually.
Yeah, just the idea, though. I was like, I can't believe we drug a cooler up there just so we could get drunk and potentially fall off the side of the mountain. It's like
But it was fun.
It was a series of bad decisions, but yeah, we got great pictures from it, and I remember it fondly. But there's no way in hell I'd do that now. It's like,
no.
If I drank earlier, fair enough.
If I had the little red wagon behind me, I might.
And enough motivation, yeah. I can see that.
And as long as I didn't get anywhere, like I'm at least going to be at least about 20 feet away. Well, actually more than that, but yeah.
Yeah. But and that's just part. I like how you guys do sort of celebrate these things that you used to do. It's like, no, I can't currently do this anymore.
Well, when we wrote the song, I was still doing it. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong.
That was about 10 years ago. So.
Yeah, I would never teabag anybody with a dog today. But 10 years ago, yeah. So. Yeah.
Well, and it's funny that he fell for that because, I mean, it sounds like he's never been to any kind of a like sleepover or a hangout where the rule
no,
is.
he's a professional. I literally think it's just because he had some pain going on and
one wonderful thing led to another.
I caressed him gently with those dog's nuts.
Like, it was great. And I love that there are pictures because the pictures is really what makes it fantastic. And
last time it showed up in my memories, and it's like it's still on Facebook. And you can't fart on Facebook anymore without them like getting mad and taking it out. But they're still on Facebook.
Well, okay. Another thing that you guys have going on in your YouTube video was for You Got Posted.
Mm-hmm.
You texted me about this. You're like, I have a porn star in the video, and her name is Ravenous.
Yeah, make sure you look her up when there's no children around.
Yeah. I haven't had a chance to look at her work.
Oh, you
so
should
to speak. But
she's in the Hall of Fame. Seriously, she is in the Hall of Fame.
She's not that one that took like 901 day, is she? There's some woman.
Oh no!
Okay,
I know. Right. Yeah, no.
Okay, all right,
dude. Oh, I wish you would have met me before you did the interview with Brian Clary.
Oh, really?
Yes, because Brian Clary was at Yes Weekly. They did a story on Ravenous, and from what I understand, it almost got them shut down. From what I understand, they had so many people mad at him for doing a story on a local, because she's from Jamestown, on a local porn star.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Hell, at the end of this interview, I might be like, you need to put me in contact with her because she sounds like she might be an interesting.
She's awesome, dude. I mean, I knew her right before she got. Again, I was working at a Jack Shack,
right?
And here comes this gorgeous. I just went out there and made a bunch of movies. They're not out yet. I would love to see them.
Right.
And we just became friends, and we were married she was married at the time, I was married at the time, but we just became friends. And then, good God, about 6 years ago, about 8 years ago, she and her current husband at the time, I guess, who was Adam Jordan. Well, Adam Jordan directed our Tate Street Hipster and You Got Posted videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't seen her in years, and she hits me up, hey, I'm back in town. I'm like, oh, shit. And she was talking about doing the video, and she's like, I'd love to be in your video. We would love to have you in our video. Right. She's like, I'll do it if my husband can direct it. Deal. Like, no shit.
Someone who might have technical know-how? Hell
yeah. Well, I mean, the guy that was doing our videos that have done our other videos, he's definitely has a technical know-how too. I can't mention any names right now because of the whole, but it was just like, he's coming down here to meet people and try to get his foot in directing local stuff.
Right.
But yeah, man, I mean, 42,000. Last time I looked, 42,000 hits on that video.
Oh, it is.
On You Got Posted,
yeah. Damn, that's pretty impressive for you guys. Like,
oh, dude, yeah.
Did it kind of happen all at once, or was it really gradual, that level of views?
I think it got, like, I'd say probably 30 to 35, pretty fast. Mm-hmm. But then it was gradual after that, because, I mean, there's just so much you can capitalize on it.
Right.
And now now nobody will send me nude photos. like guys,
come on.
Nobody will do it anymore. They're like, no, you wrote that song. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, well, I wanted to ask you, who was the guy in the video with Raven S in the bed when they were taking the selfie?
I think it was Jay Black, who does local videos and stuff here. He did our video. He did the one you were talking about for, good God, the song I don't like, Lot 312.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
He did that video. I think, God, how many videos have we done? I can't even remember, but he did that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like you guys had
and Twisted Love. And Twisted Love. He did Twisted Love, too.
Oh,
but
that's cool.
Yes.
So he got a little starring role.
Oh, yeah.
With a porn star.
Yeah,
Good for him, man.
He's directing it. He's like, I'm going to go to bed with the porn star. I don't blame him. I would have, too.
Membership has its privileges, man.
Dude.
Good for him.
But that was such a fun video to shoot.
How long did it take to shoot that video?
All day. Like it was done in one complete day. Mm-hmm. And it was so funny because my life is so fucked up or was so fucked up. They're like, I tell them some of the stories that have happened. They're like, there's no way this happened. And I tell them, well, we got this porn star, this world famous Hall of Fame, AVN Hall of Famer porn star that's going to come and do our video. No, she's not. And I'm like, okay, man, whatever. And I'm telling them I know, and everybody's like, yeah, they got doubts. So we're downtown Elm Street in Greensboro. She gets out of the car, and we've got all our friends who are extras, all our friends in there, and she wraps her leg around mine and plants one right on me in front of everybody. And everybody's like, how the fuck does he know these people? It's great, man.
And the best thing to do is not say anything. Just kind of give them a nod.
That's exactly what I was like, yeah, nope. I told y'all motherfuckers. I'm like, I'm not lying about this shit. I mean, there might
who know people,
being a scumbag for so many years finally paid off a little bit, like.
It is weird when shit like that happens and people who expected the least of you see you kind of falling upwards, and it's like, haha.
Oh, it's still the least. I ain't made no money with it. I mean, it's still the least. I still work at the mall.
Right.
But I had a lot of fun doing it, And,
yeah.
It is a good creative, it's a good creative outlet, so. But it was fun, and she's good people, and I know her and Adam aren't together anymore, and Adam Jordan was super to work with.
Right.
Me and him ended up becoming like golf buddies and drinking buddies and shit, yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, he pissed me off one day, and I tried to take a piss on him. Yeah, okay. I totally did.
Okay, elaborate a little bit on that.
We were having a cookout at my house, and we were doing beer bongs, okay?
Oh, yeah.
Doing a beer bong. Well, he decided to just spray me with a beer, and it pissed me off. And I'm like, and this guy's super. He is super awesome. Of the years I've known him, I was only pissed off on him for one minute. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get this motherfucker?
Yeah.
So I started peeing on him. It worked.
That's one way.
It worked.
Now, did you drench him, or is it just like a
Oh,
sprinkle?
no. He saw me coming, and I might have got, like, his elbow. But, hey, still,
Yeah, you're kind of at a disadvantage when you're running with your dick in your hand.
Yeah. And after drinking, but he saw me coming. I got a little on him. Yeah. I was pissed off. He was pissed on. I was in the better right there.
Well, and that's good. I mean, it sounds like you have a healthy relationship. And what's a friendship without a little bit of...
Little pee.
Yeah.
Little bodily function. How do I have these... I just noticed that. Like, how do I have I teabagged somebody with a dog, wrote a song about it. I peed on a director of our videos. Why do people talk to me?
I mean, would you rather have a boring life, though?
Oh,
I don't
no.
think so.
No, not at all.
Yeah. So you have the album coming out with true stories. Now, what are some other true stories that are going to be revealed? Don't tell me all of them, but like, what's a good preview for a couple of the other ones?
We got one
out?
called Search Warrant.
Okay, all right.
True story. That one goes out to the Greensboro Police Department.
Did you get the battering ram through the door and everything? Or?
No, not the battering ram, but it's, let's see. There's one called Not Guilty, written for the Winston-Salem Police Department. My Confession for the Kernersville Police Department. Let's see. There's a one called Stranded that I wrote for Bull. Yeah, I wrote it for Bull because I left him in a parking lot to get some pussy in Fayetteville one night. And then Twisted Love, I know you know Paz, the guy that had the dead bodies. Twisted Love's about that motherfucker.
Oh, that you mean the guy in Clemens?
Yeah.
Oh,
I used to sell weed to that dirty motherfucker.
Really?
Oh yeah.
He
was a hot topic little bitch. Like everybody's like, he was so evil. He shot people. It don't take anybody with balls. If you're going to kill somebody, kill them. Don't shoot them. That's a pussy move. Well, actually, pussies are pretty tough and Anyway, but you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Like he was just a hot topic poser. Yeah. But I sold weed to him, and he used to come out, to see my band. Not Trailer Park Orchestra, but some of my old bands play. So, but yeah, it's.
Was he just one of those? He always struck me as one of those guys that was sort of, hey man, I'm deep and I'm scary and I'm into Satanism.
That's exactly what it was.
Okay.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie to you, when I used to sell him weed, and he'd come to shows. I mean, I was nice, but he wasn't the guy he wasn't the kind of guy I was going to pee on or teabag with a dog.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want him in my inner circle.
Yeah, you don't want that level of comfort with this guy.
Yeah. So
and seeing those pictures of his house and all that stuff, it's like, what a crusty bastard.
Thank God I never went to his house.
Yeah.
Thank God I never went to his house.
You're where he was pissing in corners and just what a gross yeah, he's just gross. It's weird to me that guys like that or people like that, they always attract weird groupies for some reason. That just baffles
could
me.
you imagine the nasty bush on some of that?
It'd be that weird sort of crust of something that's been laying around for a few days, like old pudding. Just God in heaven.
Or milk with the curl.
Yeah, something that has a layer of crust that's not supposed to be there.
I can't believe you grossed out somebody that worked at a porno shop for 17 years. But you just did.
This is probably why my wife doesn't listen to my show.
Nice.
God bless her. No, she does listen from time to time, but she also knows better. She knows which ones are safe and which ones aren't. Let's see. What else was I was going to ask you. Oh, okay. Actually, I think those were the main questions I wanted to ask you about because I wanted to know who Daryl was. Okay. I want to know, when is the new album going to be coming out?
That's a good question. Because I don't know. Like the single was the one we just put out is the last song that we recorded, and it was just like, dude, we've got to record this song because he's running for governor. We got to do it.
Yeah.
And we've been sitting on the other stuff forever. But I think some of us still want to do some physical media. And the rest,
vinyl maybe?
I'd love to do vinyl, but it's too expensive.
Right.
You know? But because I don't want to put out CDs. I just think that's a waste. But there's other people that they're like, we should get the CD. I'm like, well, that's way more than it would just to put it on Spotify.
Yeah.
And we've had now. Don't get me wrong. Trailer Park Orchestra now with Jesse May, Lieutenant Governor. That's Jesse Mabe, and that's Bull, and that's me. However, the rest of the album was with our former drummer, BP Brian Pell, who the only reason he quit, his shoulder finally just gave out on him, and he could yeah. I mean, the guy, we loved the guy, but we would have never replaced him. But he couldn't play. Dude, when he quit the band, he had tears in his eyes.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
man.
it does.
Yeah, drumming, man, it really takes a toll on the body.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I mean, yeah, I couldn't imagine. But I just, so I'd like to get it out as soon as possible, but life gets in the way of a good time sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Tell me about it. I try to put this show out about every 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, I saw your thing on there about like, hey, don't forget about us.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, I try to do it semi-regularly, but it's like you said, it's like life. All the other shit that I'm actually doing that kind of makes me money, it has to take priority.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to make this a regular thing is a pain in the ass, but I love it. I love doing it.
Dude, I'm still trying to figure out where I saw your card. Because I told you the 2 bars that I thought it was, and you were like, no, not it. And I'm just like, where the hell did I get this card?
Well, it could be anyway. I mean, it could have been like Crimson Hollow. I go down to Foothills all the time. I go to Wise Man and Ramcat. And
I have been to neither one of those in the past like month and a half. And that's when I got your card. It's been in the last 2 weeks or no, 2 months or so.
Well, I like to think that maybe somebody just took it and spread the word. That would be pleasant to me.
You know what? That's great. Yeah. That's the best way. It's still the best way.
Yeah. Yeah, it really, I mean, honestly, I'm glad you guys reached out because I had heard of you guys before, but I'd never given you an honest listen. Mm-hmm. So when you were reaching out and I started listening, it's like, no, this is right up my alley, man. I really dig this.
These guys are insane.
Yeah. Well, it's a fun sort of like, it's not exactly rock. It's not exactly like rockabilly. It's not exactly like heavy metal, but it's got all of those things combined. Yeah. And that's sort of what I enjoy about it. And you guys have a good sense of humor. I feel like a lot of bands don't have a sense of humor.
And I wish I could tell you who's the one that said it to me, but there was somebody that told me one time, listening to Trailer Park Orchestra is like listening to an inside joke. And I just loved that. I was like, that's perfect. Mm-hmm. That is literally perfect. Yeah. And I wish I could remember who told me that.
But the Lieutenant Governor track is a perfect example of that.
Oh, my God.
Because I was trying to pick it apart, listening to it, and now you're telling me what it's about, and I was way off.
Yeah,
but that's funny.
He's a former customer of mine who, it's like, whoa, wait a minute, you're going to owe me money for porn and run for governor?
VHS porn. That's like that's caveman porn.
Don't you wish you would have paid me now?
Right. I'd have left you alone.
Nah. Well, yeah, because there wouldn't. You know what? That is true. Because there would have been no story.
Right. Yeah.
Because there's no story in saying, "Oh, Mark used to buy porn for me all the time." There's no song in that. Yeah. That's just me being mean. Mm-hmm. Now, don't get me wrong. Talking about him owing me $25 for bootleg porn 20 years later, that's petty, but it's funny. It's funny. It's like,
I would love nothing more than to hear him have a reaction to that.
Oh, God.
Wouldn't that be kick-ass? You guys would be on gravy train after
the guy that interviewed me for Raw Story, that was the name of it. The guy that interviewed me for Raw Story is like, next time I see him at a press conference, I'm going to ask him if he ever paid you the money. Yeah. And I'm like, please record it. Please, I want to have that as like our opening, like right before the band goes on stage. It's,
him bowing his head in shame.
You know what? I don't think he would. I think he would just be like, well, he told me I didn't have to pay him now because it's been so long.
Awesome.
And I think that'd be awesome too. I don't think he'd lie about it. Yeah. I don't think I don't think he's a liar. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's a fucking funny story. It ain't. I didn't want to be mean to the guy,
and it doesn't come across mean. It just.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, it comes across as, dude.
You want to pay me before these reporters on podcasts keep putting me on here.
Yeah. It sounds like an auditory, like you're elbowing him in the ribs. You know what I mean?
And that's a great analogy. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Because I remember when I saw him at the gym, I was like, dude, I was like, I'm proud of you. What you accomplished. I disagree with you, but I'm fucking proud of you.
Yeah.
I was like, and I can't wait to write a song about it. And he just kind of, glanced over that comment.
Oh, I really hope on some level you get like some acknowledgement from him, even if it's just an email going, haha, that was pretty funny. Don't show anybody this. That
I'm
would
kind
be
of
enough.
afraid. I'm kind of afraid to run into him at the gym again and him be like, Louis, you motherfucker. Like,
Louis
dude,
ruined everything.
Like, I told you I was going to do it. Like, I wasn't mean about it. It ain't like I, made, every other song, there's some exaggeration that went along with it.
Yeah.
I didn't exaggerate for the point of, getting views or anything. And if anybody ever says, you did this song just to get some eyeballs, you goddamn right I did. How many people?
Was I supposed to do?
Yeah, how many people do you know that the lieutenant governor owes money to for bootleg porn? Of course.
Bootleg porn.
Yeah.
That's what makes it
2 VHS
really
tapes.
cool.
2 VHS tapes. I literally did that. I started when I was 16 doing the 2 VCR thing and did it up until till DVD started taking over, and and then weed selling just got to be so lucrative. I couldn't stop that. I was just like, I got less time to make bootleg porn and more time to sell weed. That was great for 22 glorious years too, but
Right.
It is what it is.
All things have to come to an end.
Unfortunately.
At least you had a fun ride. While you
Oh
were
God, I'm still having a fun ride. I'm having fun just talking about it, And and in all seriousness, I hope he doesn't take it too personal. Like, I hope he doesn't want to kill me.
Yeah.
I hope he's just like you said. I hope he's like, yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
If I saw him, that's the reaction. I hope that's not the reaction I think I'll get, but that's the reaction I would hope I would get.
Yeah.
Because it's not. Like you said, the song's not mean spirited.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm poking you in the ribs, you motherfucker. You should have paid me. The only reason this song is funny is because you didn't pay me.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's like, where you are now, you can give me $25, even though it'd be weird if you did. That's also
I told him I didn't want it. Yeah. Unless it came from like a government check that I could deposit on my phone and then frame. Like, I'd still take the money. But frame it on my phone, yeah.
The memo line, bootleg porn. I would have that shit in the most
Oh my
ornate
God,
frame.
yeah. Right in my living, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, dude, tell everybody where they can find Trailer Park Orchestra, your Bandcamp, Facebook, all that kind of stuff. Where can they find you and listen to your music?
Well, we're on Facebook, Trailer Park Orchestra, YouTube. Just look up Trailer Park Orchestra. We pop up. Spotify, YouTube, all that stuff, man. Like, you could Google, I think, at this point, Trailer Park Orchestra, and we're on there. And if you're local, we've been playing every first Friday at Bessemer Billiards now for 10, 11 years at this point, which is a little redneck dive bar in Greensboro. We've been playing every first Friday there for at least 10 years. And we play anywhere else that has electricity. We just played New York Pizza this past week.
Oh, cool.
In Greensboro, freaking great. On Tate Street.
Yeah.
We were Tate Street hipsters on Tate Street. It was great.
Another good reference to the catalog there.
Yeah, we got 2 albums out. My fault. 2 albums and then 1 single.
Yeah.
So hoping that changes soon.
Yep, and I've been listening to those albums on Apple Music. So yeah, all the major music platforms. Go find it. It's good stuff. You guys will enjoy it.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Louie, man. I appreciate you.
Oh, dude, I appreciate it. And the beer, I appreciate the beer, too. I'm glad you didn't buy me well, I love PBR, but you actually was like, hey, let's get the good stuff.
Oh,
I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, PBR, there's nothing wrong with it, but if I have my druthers, I'll go with a decent beer.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm with you. Enjoy this is great beer. Enjoy
right.
Moggers.
Thanks, man.
stragglers, 250 shots, cheap pitchers of beer, girls looking better, drink until they get hot, hot, hot. I don't know where the night ends, but the day begins when Vicodin. I'm day drinking with Daryl. Yes, Daryl. Hitch up the trailer, cuss like a sailor. It ain't even 6. Which bar is next? Wake up at the beach. Again, work I miss. I don't know where the night is, but the day begins when Vicodin. I'm day drinking with Daryl. Yes, Daryl. I don't know where the night is, but the day begins when Vicodin. I'm day drinking with Daryl. Yes, Daryl. I don't know where the night is, but the day begins when Vicodin. I'm day drinking with Daryl. Yes, Daryl. You know I can fix that for you.
So that's going to do it for this episode of the Piedmont Triad Podcast. Be sure to check out the Trailer Park Orchestra on all the platforms Louie talked about and give them a follow on all of their social media. Also, be sure to give us a like and follow on Instagram and Facebook at Piedmont Podcast. And lastly, thanks to Matt Smith and the Cowboy Spankers for our theme song, Not Tonight. Check them out on Bandcamp. And Brian Falk for all of the awesome artwork. Shoot him an email at wellfalkna@gmail.com. That's WELLFAULKNA@gmail.com. And a big thanks to you for listening. Until next time, Piedmont.
Should keep on moving. You're like the devil when the sun goes down. Stay away from me. Well, I'm too far gone. There ain't nothing here to see, babe. So you best just move along.